Om Shanti, everyone. Welcome to today's meditation. We'll begin with short meditation. Get seated comfortably. Relaxing your body. Letting go of any tightness or tension in the muscles of your legs, in your stomach or chest and shoulders. Let go of any tension or pressure in the neck. Gently take your mind away from any kind of stress or anxiety that has been bothering you. Just free yourself from everything for a few moments. These moments that are precious for you. Feel relaxed. Just take time for your breath to slow down. And for the body and for yourself to feel that calmness. Gently focus on the image on the screen. And imagine yourself on a trip to this beautiful cottage in the middle of the nature. There is nothing to bother you in this pure space, which is undisturbed by all the pollution outside or the pollution of the mind. It's just a calm and soothing place. When you're in this place, you just feel the beautiful reflection of your inner peace everywhere around you. This nature is resonating with the inner beauty. You're able to connect to that peace and calmness within you. This is what is the deepest part of you and the core of the inner being, is that peace, purity, and love. You can see beyond. When you're in this open space, you can realize and remember your origin as a spiritual being, completely pure and serene. How you have come from that world of souls, the world beyond, into this physical world as a guest on a trip. And you have entered into this cottage of this body to experience the beauty and share your qualities with the world. As a guest, you appreciate and respect this amazing physical body where you can stay comfortably and through it you're able to see and perceive the world around. These physical eyes of the body are the windows of this cottage. You stay protected in this cottage of the body and comfortable, enjoying the experience as a guest here. You understand that nothing here belongs to you. And use everything that is available with care and respect. There is mutual cooperation of you as the guest and this body that's serving as your host, as a costume for you to go through this physical experience. You share your virtue of peace and love to the body. For its tireless help and support for you on this journey. This mutual respect makes the journey more enjoyable. And yet, you know, at some point, as a guest, you leave this body, but it doesn't bother you because you have enjoyed and shared during the journey. When it's time, you're ready to move on and get new experiences. There is no worry of losing and no fear because you're aware of your eternal existence. As a gift, you use it with care. But there is no attachment or feeling of ownership. With this awareness of being a guest, Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Today we'll be talking about the topic of being a better version of yourself when we are dealing with issues of the body. Yesterday we looked at what is the relationship between the self, the real being, inner being, and the body itself. That we are two separate entities and we are coexisting for the soul to have this physical experience. So it is like on this journey at the physical level, we take support of the body as an instrument for us to come into this physical experience. So it's like very deep relationship, and this is the most important relationship and also the most confusing relationship. Because we are not in the right awareness. We forgot our true identity. Then the confusion of what is I and what is mine started. So now, with the higher awareness and higher consciousness, we are able to separate the identity of the body being mine and instrument and the real self being the soul. So when we have this awareness, how it helps us to deal when we are facing certain situations, difficult situations, especially dealing with body, like any kind of illness or like, you know, fear of leaving the body, having death and all these issues. So one way we are going to look at is how we complement blessings and meditation along with medicine. Just as a physical instrument, the body needs some medicine, but how do we complement it with blessings and meditation? So again, looking at who is the real self, we understand now and are able to stay in that awareness that the real self is the soul, and that this human body is like a costume, or you can call it like it's a cottage or house that you're staying, and the owner is the real self, is the one that is staying in the body. The difference between these awareness and it is the awareness is the seed for determining how we are living our lives, because awareness is the seed and is the basis or foundation for our thoughts, words, actions, habits, and everything, lifestyle, all everything depends on what awareness we are in. So when we are under the awareness of being a physical body, then we tend to look at things like, that are limitations. This, when we consider ourselves being a body, then we are looking at the physical appearance, the color, size, race, religion, gender. All these issues seem big, and each one of it is a limiting factor. It doesn't let us go beyond that. Everything has its own limitations, and then we are dependent on many things. For the When we think we are a body, we are dependent on many other external things like possessions and like properties, like money, finances. All these things we are dependent on for our happiness and for us to feel full. But we know and understand that our real identity of the soul being completely um, an independent being, a spiritual being, energy that is immortal, that doesn't have to depend on anything. It is eternally peaceful. It is intrinsically blissful and a happy being. It is a being of power. When we have the awareness of being a soul, we are able to be in this consciousness, and we bring out our thoughts, our words, and actions with these qualities. And when we are in the awareness of the soul, the spiritual identity, then we also are able to relate naturally with the Supreme Being, who is the divine energy. And there is a natural connection of the soul and Supreme Soul, who are both spiritual energies. And we know that we have an eternal home, that is the land of souls, and that is the land beyond this physical world. And that we have come into this physical world as an actor, as a guest, to play our part or this role. So this awareness gives us a complete independence of the role, of the dependencies of the body and all these things, and how it helps us to deal with the bodily things, we'll see. So when we are doing this practice of being in this higher consciousness during meditation, and also during the day, when we are awakening this higher consciousness within us and realizing our true self and able to separate the self from the body, what is happening is that we are respecting the self and are able to bring out the qualities of the self more. At the same time, we are respecting the body. We are giving it that freedom and that nourishment and nurturing that it needs, that feeling of love and care. We treat it with respect and gratitude. So when we are having all these kinds of positive feelings for the body, and feeling that gratitude, then a lot of all these original virtues of the soul that we are experiencing during meditation are causing physical effects, positive physical effects on the body also. So it has been even proven in research, and medical research has also been picking up on these positive effects of meditation lately. And there have been separate branches that have been dedicated to study the effects of the interaction of the mind and how the mind affects our body and the body's health. So if we look at some of the effects that the meditation has, the positive effects on our brain, we see that it's been shown in research that different parts of the brain respond differently when we practice meditation, especially more if we do regular practice of meditation for more than 8 weeks or 2 months. It has been shown that there has been an increase in the size of the gray matter in the brain. And also yesterday we looked at how the soul is positioned in the center part of the brain, where in close proximity to hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and this is the thalamus. Thalamus is that region of the brain that processes all the sensory information from all the sense organs that come from different parts of the body. So all these main parts of the body are located so close to the soul, and when we are radiating these positive qualities, positive changes have been demonstrated even in the research, that that our sensory perceptions improve, that our memory improves, and also this the our perception of self awareness, that also improves. And we also see that the hormonal balance is restored. The hypothalamus is the central region where all the hormonal system of the body is controlled. And because we are receiving all that positive vibrations from the soul, you see that the hormonal balance is restored in the body. And also the emotional aspect is controlled by amygdala, which is also very closely located to the location of the soul. And this amygdala, what it does is it controls the emotions. Like if your amygdala is very active, then it means you're a very emotional person. So it has been shown that with meditation you tend to experience less of that intensity of emotion, like for example, fright, fear, and um, anxiety and phobia. All those kinds of negative behavior patterns tend to reduce, because you're able to think better, you're able to think with your logical mind and also with your intuition. So this the emotional fluctuations that are going on and that the body experiences also go down. And here we can see in this picture to the left, we are seeing the two parts of the brain, the left brain and the right brain. So what is generally is said is that with meditation, your right brain functions are becoming better. That is, you create more holistic thoughts, your intuition increases, and your creativity and your art and music skills increase. And so you're able to have a balance. Like if we are not meditating in this today's demanding life of so much busyness and so many things to deal with, what happens is we tend to become very analytical. We always think with logic and we are kind of calculating with everything. Like we don't think with intuition or that compassion or empathy. We lack sometimes. We become like very mechanical. So when we practice meditation, it's been shown that there is a much better balance between the right brain and the left brain, and overall you can function in a more coordinated way. And so your experience of life becomes more full, more enriching. It doesn't just seem to be like a burdensome routine thing, or like it's like doesn't seem to be very tasking. So this we can say there have been much more studies, and you can find this psychoneuroimmunology is a separate branch that has been dedicated to understand the interlink between how the soul and the body are getting affected, and how the effect of the soul is on different parts of the body. Here I've shown the different effects on the brain, but it also affects different other systems like heart and cardiovascular system, the hormonal system. As I said, there is balance of different hormones that are secreted in the body. Our immunity is boosted. And the same is true for gastrointestinal system, that it functions better, because a lot of negative emotions and negative hormones that are created when we are stressful are removed when we practice regular meditation. And with this practice of meditation, we also increase the amount of the happy hormones. With this positive effect of the hormones also impacts the gastrointestinal system. So we all might have experienced, like when you're tensed or when you're preparing for exams or very hard or stressful situation is going on, you can't digest properly, you feel a lot of indigestion, and some people can even have diarrhea or even other symptoms like nausea and all that. So everything is because there is effect of one thing on the other. When we are stressful, we are creating a lot of negative and stressful hormones, and that in turn affects the body in a adverse way. But when we are meditating, even when we are dealing with tough conditions like illness or very serious sickness, then we are able to keep that balance because we are giving positive vibrations and positive hormones, releasing happy hormones in the body. So it helps in regaining some of the balance that has been lost. So it will help for us to recover faster, and it will also help for us to not get into the stress of being pulled by the gravity of the condition that we are going through. Like, if you're going through a serious illness, when we practice meditation, this separation of our true awareness of being the soul separate from the body creates a sense of security, because you know that as a soul you're eternal. So some of the other helpful ways which can help us when dealing with illness is that when we focus on the abundance in life as to what we have been blessed with, and to be grateful for all that we have received in life, and then acceptance of whatever is that we are facing, with understanding of the law of karma, going into the depth of law of karma and understanding that due to some karmic past we may have to face some situation or illness, but how we take it, how we adopt to it is depends on how we are, what awareness we are coming from. And as I said, this awareness of being the spiritual eternal being helps us in detaching from the experience of the pain that the body is going through. There may be suffering, but there may be pain, but you can minimize the suffering that the soul goes through. The experience of suffering can go down, the physical pain may be there, and that is also achieved because you're strengthening um, your the power within the soul by practice of meditation, and by um, thinking about the positive aspects in life. So you're increasing that positivity even during difficult situations, and you use that as a learning experience for you. It is like when some of the adversities are there, that's when people have learned the most, by using that as an opportunity to bring that better version of themselves out. So when we have this awareness of being, of this higher awareness, then there is that clarity of the intellect that we develop to see beyond the adversity and to experience that bliss beyond and despite being in the midst of the adversity. So we realize and we experience that there is always an option to be free. We don't have to be carried away by anything external. So this is how it affects when we have the right awareness. It ripples into all our actions, and with this ripple effect, we feel these positive changes in the body too. So take a few minutes with a short meditation. Gently taking your attention away from the body and focusing on your real self, the soul. You take some time to relax and feel that, and accept, even if you're facing some illness or sickness of the body, that you, as the soul, are independent from that. Your true nature is of peace and happiness. And your eternal, imperishable, indestructible. Nothing can hurt you, Nothing can cut you, nothing can burn you. With this true awareness of your spiritual nature, you also are able to connect to that divine power, your eternal parent, who is ocean of peace, purity, love and power. And with this connection through the mind, you link with him and his energy starts flowing. His energy is radiating to you with this tiny point of light that is in the body. When you receive these pure and powerful vibrations from the divine, you experience that power and freedom of yourself, and also you radiate this pure energy, this healing energy to every cell of your body. You can visualize rays of the Supreme reaching you, the soul, and spreading throughout your body, focusing more on that region of the body that may be in pain or going through some disease. With this healing energy that we receive from the divine, there is healing happening within the cells, and you're able to let go of that pain. Feel that energy and restoration of the health again. And feel rejuvenated in mind and body. Om Shanti, everyone. We'll end today's session here, and we hope to see you again tomorrow evening for another meditation. Thank you.